So I've just pulled up to go and get some meat and do a bit of an order at the butcher's. So I'm going to head on in, grab what I need here. I'll probably get some other meats at the grocery store as well. But for right now, I'm just going to go and get this meat order. Back seat is absolutely chock-a-block with big boxes of meat in the back seat, so I have to go home now and sort it all out. I'll show you what I bought. I'm back from the butcher's and I just got the kids to help me bring in all the meat. So I'm going to tell you what I bought, what I spent, how I store it, and we'll have a little chat about meal sizes. So this enormous bag of beef mince, which is also known as ground beef. This is about 6.3 kilos. There is just over 8 kilos of barbecue steak. This is 2 strings of sausages. So each bag is probably about, probably just over 4 kilos each. So these are basic beef sausages. I bought some marinated chicken kebabs, 2 bags of lamb chops. These are Dagwood dogs. And over here I've got a 10 kilo box of herb and garlic chicken pieces. So all of this meat cost me $442.69. Now, if you want to save some money with your meals, you have to look at your serving size. I think nowadays we are used to making big meals that we don't necessarily need. So it's not unreasonable to think that, just having one sausage on a plate with a big plate of steamed veggies or a big plate of salad with it, maybe something really filling like a pasta bake or a potato bake, and you're going to be full after that meal. It's going to be very satisfying without having to spend a fortune on serving lots of meat with every meal. What am I going to do with all of this meat? Well, I like to separate it all into meal sizes. Some of this I will do a pre-cooked freezer meal with them, and some of them I will just put it into a meal size, and then we will just have them with some salad or some veggies. So with the sausages, our serving size is normally 1 to 2 sausages per person. We've got 10 of us living in the house now, so I will still pack between 14 to 16 sausages for a meal size for our size family. So in your family, if you have small children, just 1 sausage on the plate for them is more than enough. For the teenagers, the young adults, for mum and dad, you could put 1 to 2 sausages. Count up what's needed in your family and bag that into a meal size to go into the freezer. Now over here was the 6.3 kilos of beef mince, which is also known as ground beef. Now I'm going to turn this into the pre-cooked freezer meals, add different sauces, and then bag them into meal sizes as well. And then you can add other things. Now when you pull these meals out of the freezer, you can defrost it if you like. I just cook them straight from frozen, and then I will add the things like the pasta or spaghetti to them to make the full family meal. Now when I'm cooking a meal with the mince, I generally use a kilo of mince per meal. So you could buy in bulk like this and then split it down, freeze up those pre-cooked meals, and then you're going to have something ready on those really hectic nights when everybody's busy and you don't much feel like cooking. You can just pull something that's already been cooked out of the freezer and get it onto the table. Now with the barbecue steak, I take some of it and I will just make it into a meal size. So some nights we just want to do like a steak sandwich or some steak and veggies, and so you just need a bag, and I normally put about 12 pieces of steak in there. Pieces probably about the size of your palm is normally a recommended serving size, and I'll put them into that and I will write how many's in there, and that way if we have a guest come over and we're just going to make some steak sandwiches, we can just pull the plain pieces of steak out. Now the rest of the steak I will either dice or cut into small strips, and I will make other meals with those. Now over here I bought 2 bags of the lamb chops, and again this is where your budget will probably fare a little bit better than mine, because in each of these bags there's about 6 lamb chops. So for our size family, with 8 kids still living at home, we're going to need both bags for one single meal. But for a smaller family, if you've only got a couple of kids, you could probably get 3 meals out of this. Now these are packs of chicken kebab. I could only find 2 of one flavour and 1 of a different flavour. So these ones here are roasted tomato and smoked garlic, and they smell so good. So these are just a plain chicken kebab. They have all their seasoning on it. And the other one over here is a herb, garlic and chili. We probably use 2 to 3 kebabs per person, and then I will do a really nice side salad with it. So we would probably need all 3 packs here for one family meal. But if you have a smaller family, again, you're going to get probably, maybe, you might not get 2 meals out of one pack. There's 10 kebabs in there, so I'm guessing it would depend on how old your children are. Are they big eaters? You know, if you've got a house full of hungry teenagers, you're going to need more to feed them all. But you could at least get 3, maybe 4 or 5 meals out of that for a smaller family. Now I also bought 2 bags of Dagwood dogs. So I believe these are also called Pluto pups. So this is a stick with a Frankfurt, like a hot dog Frankfurt, and it's covered in batter. Now they are traditionally deep fried, but since I don't deep fry food here at home, I will put them on a tray into the oven on fan bake, probably about 200 fan bake, and I will just put a little bit of like a layer of oil, give them a good coating and pop them in there. And I think we're actually going to have these for lunch today. These were 5 for $10, so I bought 2 bags, so we'll have a couple left over. I think we're only feeding 6 or 7 people for lunch today, and then the rest I will actually put them into Ziploc bags and into the freezer, because they make a quick lunch if there's only 1 or 2 teenagers home or something like that. And then you can just have them with sauce afterwards. So traditionally it's tomato sauce on them, but they would also be really nice with some mustard and barbecue sauce. Now up here is a 10 kilo bag of herb and garlic chicken. Used to be able to buy these in a smaller box, but this is 10 kilos and they are just pieces of chicken breast that have been marinated with herbs and garlic flavouring. Really, really nice. These are great if you chop them down into small pieces. They're great through pasta. We also like to bag them as just 1 piece of chicken per person. So I'll put like 10 of them or 12 of them into a bag. And we just gently cook them, and then you can put any kind of side with it. But they're really, really nice with a fresh green salad. Now when I bag the meat up to put into the freezer, I use Ziploc bags to put them in. So I normally use the medium or the large size to fit our family size meal into it, but you might be able to get them into even a smaller bag. Make sure you write what's in the bag, because once they go into your freezer, sometimes it's hard to tell once it's all frozen up exactly what the product is in there, what kind of meat it is. So I will write here on the front of the bag, but I also write on the bottom, along the bottom of the bag here, so that depending on where you're stacking this meat, if it's going into a chest freezer, and when you open the chest freezer up and you're looking down, you're going to want the name of the product up here. But if you are stacking them into an upright freezer, you're going to want to be able to read what's in the bag along the bottom of each of these. Now, if your meat's going to be in the freezer for quite some time, make sure you put a date on it as to when you bought it, so that you can tell how long it's been in the freezer. The meat in our freezer doesn't stay in there long enough for it to really need to be dated around here, because we go through our supplies quite quickly, and then I will restock after that. So I'm going to get all of this meat bagged up now and into the freezer, and I will probably start cooking some of this mince so I can get some meals done. And then that will be a job that I can tick off today's list of things that I have to get done. Okay, well, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. God bless.